WGAN Forum Podcast number 194. Thursday, May 11, 2023.
This WGAN Forum podcast is sponsored by the We Get Around Network Forum, your source for Matterport and related 3D and 360 platforms, cameras, and third-party add-ons. Visit WGANforum.com.
Matterport, Incorporated. Filed Form 10K with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission on Thursday, April 27, 2023.
Part 5. The following excerpt is from pages 17 through 20 of the 10K, Matterport Employees and Human Capital Resources in Privacy and Data Security. The entire 10K is available at wgan.info/10K.
Employees and Human Capital Resources. Our employees are critical to our success. Our employees are guided by our mission to fundamentally improve the way people understand and interact with the physical world. We are part of a diverse global community, and we aim to reflect that diversity within our team. We believe diversity and inclusion foster a collaborative culture, which fuels our vision to make every space more valuable and accessible. We proactively seek feedback and guidance from our employees, Matterpeeps, whom we see as our partners in building a strong culture. As of December 31, 2022, we had 590 full-time employees. We also engage consultants and contractors to supplement our permanent workforce. To date, we have not experienced any work stoppages and consider our relationship with our employees to be in good standing. None of our employees are represented by a labor union or subject to a collective bargaining agreement. Our human capital goals are based on maximizing employee value through talent acquisition, employee onboarding, talent management, total rewards, the employee experience and company culture, and internal communications. As a global company, we are committed to creating a diverse, multicultural workforce reflective of our users, customers, and the communities where we live and work. Key areas of focus with respect to human capital include culture and engagement. We believe it is important to listen to our employees and develop our people. We proactively seek feedback and guidance from our employees, whom we see as our partners in building a strong culture. Maintaining such culture in a remote environment remains a priority in our human capital management programs. The three dimensions of Matterport are foundational to our culture and our success. Be a leader, generate energy, create clarity, be accountable. Be inclusive, seek different perspectives, foster an open dialogue, create a sense of belonging. Be the customer, understand them, delight them, help them win. The three dimensions guide our human capital initiatives and objectives and provide the basis by which we collect feedback and assess the effectiveness of our culture. We also encourage our leadership group to check in with their teams to gather input on how best to improve retention, productivity, and engagement. We have invested substantial time and resources in building our team and our culture. Employee resource groups, a platform for courageous conversations, company-wide recognition and celebrations of important cultural events, and an open forum to ask questions of leadership are all important aspects of our culture. Diversity and inclusion. We are committed to cultivating a diverse and inclusive workplace rooted in trust, fairness, empathy, respect, transparency, and accountability. We focus on advancing diversity at all levels across the organization, including the representation of women and minorities in leadership positions, and to track our efforts, we have built a diversity and inclusion dashboard, monitoring training and promotions. We provide diversity and inclusion training courses to all employees and aim to develop our existing talent through our talent development program for underrepresented groups entitled Emerge, Elevating Matterpeeps Empowerment, Retention, Growth, and Excellence. Participants learn from internal and external thought leaders in robust sessions outlining the importance of mentorship, choosing the right allies, elevating your executive presence, demonstrating achievements effectively, and much more. To promote an inclusive workplace, our 6 employee resource groups hold robust discussions and build community through panels and other activities that are reflective of their various heritage months and holidays. We believe diversity and inclusion foster a collaborative culture, which fuels our vision to make every space more valuable and accessible. Talent development. We look to attract and retain the best talent to help Matterport deliver against our strategies. We prioritize career growth and leadership development because growing our talent and building our capabilities supports our retention efforts and helps us establish a strong foundation for long-term success. We firmly believe that employee engagement is an integral component of our success. To further develop and retain talent, we also have structured review cycles for employees and robust mentoring programs. We run quarterly performance check-ins to ensure employees have the opportunity to get actionable feedback from their managers. We maintain our ongoing training and development of our employees through programs such as our monthly internal training program, and offer employees the opportunity to utilize LinkedIn Learning and a full course catalog from our internal learning and development team. Total rewards and well-being. We are committed to delivering a comprehensive compensation and benefits program that provides support for all of our employees. We provide competitive compensation and benefits to attract and retain talented employees, including offering market-competitive salary, bonuses or sales commissions, and equity. We generally offer full-time employees equity at the time of hire. In addition, we provide an employee stock purchase plan to foster a strong sense of ownership and engage our employees in being committed to our long-term success. Eligibility varies by country in which we operate. Our full-time employees are eligible to participate in our comprehensive benefits package, including a holistic suite of health and welfare benefits for employees, retirement, charitable gift matching through Matterport Cares, and various others. In addition, we provide flexible time off to our exempt employees. While the philosophy around our benefits is the same worldwide, specific benefits vary regionally due to local regulations and preferences. Our goal is to facilitate the attraction and retention of top talent while balancing the interests of our stakeholders. We recognize the importance of supporting our employees' overall wellness and generally refer to our benefits as wellness. We focus on employees' physical wellness, emotional mental wellness, and financial wellness. We are committed to maintaining a positive, safe, healthy work environment for all our employees and require compliance with all applicable local laws and regulations governing working conditions, working hours, fair wages, and compensation. Sustainability. While Matterport is in the early stages of our environmental, social, and governance (ESG) journey, we have always been mindful of our responsibility to act in an environmentally and socially conscious manner and are committed to continuous improvement. We have engaged NASDAQ ESG Advisory to assess our current ESG policies and initiatives and those going back since 2021. We also conducted a survey of our key stakeholders, including our employees, to identify the key ESG priorities for Matterport. As part of our focus to deliver strong financial results in a way that respects our employees and the environments and communities in which we operate, we will consider these ESG stakeholder viewpoints when evaluating investment and operational decisions. Doing so can help our business have a positive impact on the planet, the people whose lives we touch, and our bottom line. To ensure we follow best practices, our reporting is aligned with the requirements of leading ESG frameworks, including the Sustainability Accounting Standards Board, SASB. Location. We are a Delaware corporation with corporate headquarters in Sunnyvale, California, and a globally distributed workforce. Since March 2020, the vast majority of our workforce has been working remotely. The remote work environment has given us an advantage in attracting top talent from around the world without being tied to specific locations. We recruit and hire employees globally based on a range of factors, including the available talent pool, the type of work being performed, the relative cost of labor, regulatory requirements and costs, among other considerations. Our values and commitment to inclusion. We understand that achieving a diverse and inclusive workplace is a journey that requires action, trust, fairness, empathy, respect, transparency, and accountability. We strive to be diverse and inclusive in every aspect of our business. Our success depends on it. We don't just value differences. We prefer them. We have invested substantial time and resources in building our team and our culture. Employee resource groups, a platform for courageous conversations, company-wide recognition and celebrations of important cultural events, and an open forum to ask questions of leadership are all important aspects of our culture. Privacy and data security. We collect, use, store, transfer, share or otherwise process a variety of personal information in the ordinary course of business. As such, we are subject to a number of U.S. and international laws, regulations, and industry standards governing data privacy and security, including with respect to the collection, storage, use, transmission, sharing, processing, and protection of personal information and other sensitive data. Such laws and regulations may be inconsistent among countries or conflict with other rules. In the United States, numerous federal and state laws and regulations, including federal and state consumer protection laws and regulations, e.g., Section 5 of the FTC Act, govern the collection, use, storage, transfer, sharing, or other processing of personal information that could apply to our operations. In addition, certain state laws govern the privacy and security of personal information, many of which differ from each other in significant ways and may not have the same effect, thus complicating compliance efforts. These laws include, without limitation, the CCPA, CPRA, VCDPA, and COCPA. In the European Economic Area, EEA, and the UK, the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, and the UK GDPR are law instruments seeking to strengthen individuals' fundamental rights and to facilitate business by clarifying rules for companies and public bodies, by setting a high standard for the protection of personal data, and by imposing a strict data protection compliance regime. The GDPR and the UK GDPR apply to the processing of personal data, and the term processing is defined broadly to include collection, recording, organization, structuring, storage, adaptation or alteration, retrieval, consultation, use, disclosure by transmission, transfer, dissemination or otherwise making available, alignment or combination, restriction, erasure, or destruction of personal data. In addition, as regards transfers of personal data outside the EEA and/or the UK, a recent decision from the Court of Justice of the European Union and the related regulatory guidance may limit our ability to conduct such transfers to the United States and other jurisdictions. The foregoing description does not include an exhaustive list of the laws and regulations governing or impacting our business. See the discussion contained in the Risk Factors section for information regarding how actions by regulatory authorities or changes in legislation and regulation in the jurisdictions in which we operate or failure to comply with such legislation and regulations may have a material adverse effect on our business. Government regulations. We are subject to various laws, regulations, and permitting requirements of federal, state, and local authorities, including those related to health and safety, environmental, anti-corruption, and export controls. We believe that we are in material compliance with all such laws, regulations, and permitting requirements. Export and trade matters. We are subject to various trade restrictions, including trade and economic sanctions and export controls, imposed by governments around the world with jurisdiction over our operations. For example, in accordance with trade sanctions administered by the U.S. Treasury Department, the Office of Foreign Assets Control, and the U.S. Department of Commerce, we are prohibited from engaging in transactions involving certain persons in certain countries or territories targeted by U.S. comprehensive sanctions, including currently Cuba, Iran, Syria, North Korea, Crimea region of Ukraine, the so-called Donetsk People's Republic, and the so-called Luhansk People's Republic regions of Ukraine. Changes in these laws or regulations, or shifts in the approach to their enforcement or scope, could impact our ability to sell our product to existing or potential customers. In particular, sanctions imposed by the US, EU, UK, and other jurisdictions in response to Russian activities in Ukraine, and any counter-sanctions enacted in response, could restrict our ability to operate, generate, or collect revenue in certain other countries, such as Russia, which could adversely affect our business. In addition, our products are subject to export regulations that can involve significant compliance and administrative time to address. In recent years, the United States government has a renewed focus on export matters. Our current and future products may be subject to these heightened regulations, which could increase our compliance costs. We are subject to anti-corruption laws and regulations imposed by governments around the world with jurisdiction over our operations, including the U.S. Foreign Corrupt Practices Act and the UK Bribery Act 2010, as well as the laws of the countries where we do business. Our global operations expose us to the risk of violating, or being accused of violating, economic and trade sanctions laws and regulations. Our failure to comply may expose us to reputational harm as well as significant penalties, including criminal fines, imprisonment, civil fines, disgorgement of profits, injunctions, and debarment from government contracts, as well as other remedial measures. Investigations of alleged violations can be expensive and disruptive. Despite our compliance efforts and activities, we cannot assure compliance by our employees or representatives, for which we may be held responsible, and any such violation could materially adversely affect our reputation, business, financial condition, and results of operations. Seasonality. Our capture services tend to generate higher revenue following the seasonal pattern of the U.S. residential real estate industry, with volume increases typically occurring in the spring and summer months compared to the fall and winter months. Such seasonal impacts have in the past and may in the future be reduced or changed due to changes in the composition of subscribers, uses of the Matterport digital twins, structure of subscription plans. Available information. We file electronically with the SEC our annual reports on Form 10K, quarterly reports on Form 10Q, current reports on Form 8K, proxy statements, and other information. Our SEC filings are available to the public at the SEC's website at www.sec.gov. We make available on our website at www.matterport.com, free of charge, copies of these reports and any amendments as soon as reasonably practicable after filing or furnishing them with the SEC. The contents of these websites are not incorporated into this filing. Further, references to website URLs are intended to be inactive textual references only.